What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I feel like absolute shit because this is my second recording of Sama Spider So What. Unfortunately, due to just complete goddamn annoying issues that I really should have noticed, the first two and a bit reactions that I've done today have no audio whatsoever. So if you are seeing a reaction of those, all you would have seen is this. And that's not fun. So I'm going to re-record the reactions, which I don't want to do, but I can't afford to miss a reaction to a first episode of a series I'm really enjoying. So we're re-recording a reaction. Hopefully, maybe I notice some new things on the second watch through. Maybe I can at least make it somewhat entertaining through the second watch through. But I have to do this because it's the only other way. I understand if people don't like the fact that I'm re-watching and reacting to a show I've technically already seen, but I can't not put a reaction up for a first episode of a show. So that's the way it's going to be. I apologize in advance for this. This and Hidden Dungeon are both going to be like that. And then the first bit of Tomazaki, I don't exactly know how much through Tomazaki I got, but the first bit of Tomazaki I also missed. So all three of those shows are going to be like this in a way. So I apologize again. It really annoys me that this happens because I hate this. I really feel terrible for it, and I almost just want to give up and just not watch them. But I really like these shows, so I'm gonna keep going with it. So hopefully I can still be entertaining, and hopefully me being a second watch through shouldn't be that bad. But we'll see. You guys let me know in the comments. Anyway. This is Sama Spider So What. Despite everything, I'm still going to go through my usual thing of looking at the synopsis, tags, and things to give my opinions on them. It's going to be a bit deflated, obviously, because of everything, but I, the protagonist, was just an ordinary high school girl, but suddenly I was reincarnated as a spider monster in a fantasy world. So yeah, it's typical isekai setting, kind of like Slime, but this show's going a different way with it not being an OPMC style. Not only that, but I awakened in a dungeon filled with vicious monsters. Armed with only my human knowledge and my overwhelming positivity, understatement, I'm forced to use spiderwebs and traps to defeat far stronger monsters just to stay alive. So begins the labyrinth survival story of a girl with incredible mental strength living as one of the lowest ranked beasts. So yeah, it is kind of like Slime in that regard, but it doesn't go for the OP abilities of Slime, and I think he even makes fun of that in this, so it's going to be quite different. It is 24-episoder, so it's going to have, I think personally, better pacing for its story and character arcs, and judging by the way this show is doing, it's almost split here. I think it's going to be very useful to have those 24 episoders. Adventure comedy, fantasy, as expected, isekai storyline, CG Spider, which honestly doesn't look too bad now that I've seen it. This is by Studio Millipence and Exa, who are doing relatively new studios. Millipence has done things like Berserk and milking TQ for 9 consecutive times, which is just weird. And then Studio X is completely new. But all in all, this looks pretty good, honestly, and I do enjoy it. So, also, our Yuki, Tanya from Saga Tanya Evil, playing the main spider, is an interesting experience. Like, I can only see Tanya as the spider, which is kind of weird, to say the least. It gets quite confusing, I must say. But anyway, I'm going to load the episode up. 23 minutes of episode. So as per usual, these are time-based format reactions here on the channel. If you want picture-in-picture, Patreon is the place to go, which is just £4 a month. But here on YouTube, picture-in-picture, not picture-in-picture, timer-based. So bottom left, you'll see the timer. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play. I'll play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. Watch this one Crunchyroll since that's who's licensed it. No logos or anything, and you can use screen flash on my face or mic to tell when scenes transitioning. So for the second time, unfortunately, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Hopefully, this one actually works. But yeah, typical, starting with the school. There's a weird haze over it, which I don't quite understand why, but sure. And of course, you never see any character's eyes, because why would you? Except the one in the background, interestingly. I don't know why that's the case. And this one for some reason as well. There's Sensei. And this weird shot. I don't know what this shot is. And kablam. I'm still curious as to what the hell that is. Tanya's back. In the egg. God, it's still creepy. Seeing this many spiders, like, I'm not exactly fond of spiders. But so... I don't really have a sense of scale here either. I don't know how giant these spiders actually are. I assume they're fairly big if they're monstrous spiders, but they're also babies, so... Fucking Tanya's VA. But honestly, the CG is not so bad for her. Except for this bit, which was low frame rate for some reason. It could have been a bit more fluid with the spinning, but... And OP time. Another chance to see this, though, I quite appreciate. I'm trying to pay a bit more attention for details here. I don't know who this is. I mean, I guess maybe devil, demon. So, enjoyable OP. Not my favourite. But it fits the show. Nice. I wonder who these other spiders are. Alright. This pose. I love this pose. I don't know why. Yeah, they're cannibalistic. Yeah, they're cannibalistic. Not at this point. Survival of the fittest. Mama's home. Mama's home. Oh. Yep. Even the parents eat. Yep. Well, you're also in a different body. Still a good question. Right. Not a Japanese school, it isn't. Let's be real. Drive San Francisco storyline. The poses. Yes. That's straight out of slime. That's because you have. Yay! Now we have no points. Yeah. Usually, yes. Uh, sure. Uh, I wish they actually matched how many walls were said based on appraisals, but oh well. Sure, that's optimistic. I mean, she is optimistic as a character, so. Unnamed. You're just a generic spider. So yeah, what's with this 3D shot? It actually works because like the entire environment is 3D rather than them panning around a 2D environment. It's still kind of odd. So optimistic. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot there was all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Uh, this is Ultra Nightmare. Have you been playing Doom? That's still a mood. I mean, look at the scale there. This is a big spider. Humans don't make friends with spiders that easily. Yep. Hmm. Uh, yes, very fancy. I mean, that's what spiders do. They don't hunt themselves, they lay a trap. Well, I suppose species of spider does matter, right? Possibly. Panning to camera so often as well. You've worn yourself out. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. God. Ugh. You can really hear Tanya when she speaks like this. Poison fangs, night vision, poison resistance. 10% 1 equals W. I don't know what that means. It's not a good title. Taboo inheriting magic, yes. I don't know what the taboo skill is, but I think Japan as a country probably is fairly advanced in that. I think a lot of main, especially explorer nations and conquering nations, probably have a lot of skill in taboo. Yeah. Just walk on the ceiling. So dumb. Ugh. Still unsettling every time. Yeah. Dancing every time. Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. We have dinner. I like the lighting they use for this show, though. I really do. It's still creepy. Um, I mean, just because it's stuck doesn't mean it's incapacitated. Mm-hmm. But because anime, you can only have two properly drawn, because otherwise it's too creepy. Acid resistance, so it is acidic. Mm-hmm. It's how we got them both for E, wasn't it? I wonder what else she could have spent those points on. I'm just waiting for her to curse Sonzai X. That's all I expect to hear from her voice at this point. It's unfortunate, but... And there. Yep. Gotta get behind it. Poison resistance level 2. Nice. So it's acidic and poisonous. I will make you pay, Sonzai X. No. I'm sorry. The CG liquid actually looks decent as well. I was concerned about the CG in this show, but it's actually pretty decent. Omae wa mo shinderu. Nice. Lovely. Don't know how it fell out of the web now after all that time, but sure. Mm-hmm. You have venomous fangs. That was in her skill thing, I think. So dumb. The dancing. This music as well. flexing. I never noticed that the first time. Didn't realize he was flexing. And back to humanity, or whatever society is called, because I suppose it would include elves and such. God, so much good food. Mm-hmm. Strength isn't just for show. Still dumb. See, I was confused by that teacher line, but actually, it makes more sense over time. Death stare. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think D&D usually you to hit our adulthood you're meant to be like 100. I think. Is it like that? I don't remember. right next to his ear. Right next to his ear. Every time. Sword King. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is where it dawned on me that yeah, these are all from the school. I'm sure it would. It wouldn't put it that bad though. Yeah. Well, that's not so bad. Oh, you don't even know yet. Okay. And they're under the assumption that none of them could be a monster. So yeah, the entire class has been isekai'd, which I don't remember the last time I've seen an isekai where this many people have been isekai'd. Maybe I'm just forgetting some, but that sound effect while still looking at the good food was really off-putting. Acid up to level 2 as well. Mm-hmm. This show is very... well, not very, but it's quite visceral. And that's it. God, even on the second time through, it's very quick. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, brace yourselves. That fucking crowd, man. Every time. Reminds me of the crowd from Yakuza 5 when they come to that during Haruka's moments. It's fun, though. So dumb. Yeah. I need lyrics for this at some point. If anyone finds lyrics to this, please let me know. Still going. Love her in the actual magical girl outfit. My house on fire! Yes, unfortunately spider webs are a little flammable. Okay. So yeah. God, this was just as much fun as last time I watched it as well. This was just as much fun. It goes by so quickly. I don't know what it is about this show, but it just goes by so quickly, and that's something that I need to praise shows more often for, because I know it sounds bad to an extent. Like, why would you want your show to be over quicker than it is? But when you're enjoying a show so much that you don't even realize that 20 whole minutes have gone by, that's something special. And considering this is going to be a 24 episode season, having the episodes go by that quick isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Now, the only criticism that may imply is that it's not very in-depth. But don't forget, this is just the first episode. We don't really need to build up a huge world, a huge lore immediately in one episode. Just setting the stage and introducing the key elements is enough. Like the fact that we have an entire class of at least 12 people being isekai'd. Obviously, our spider and the 11 others that we've got here with Sensei. Well, I guess that makes it 13 people then, doesn't it? Did she count herself in the 11? I don't know. But we've got over a dozen people being isekai'd here. They are under the impression that it's not a monster. No monsters have been reincarnated, but they're still keeping the idea open. I do wonder how long it'll be until they kind of meet up, because I assume they're going to meet up, right? I don't know if this show can maintain the complete split between them for that long, but also, if they do find her, what happens then? Like, if they recognize that she's there, how are they going to keep her around, and what's she going to do in the human areas? She can't just walk around as a spider, you know? So, I'm curious how that divide's going to go down. Like, are we going to have, two separate stories that we're following? Or will they... I'm assuming they're going to reconvene and they're probably going to try and kill her. Obviously. She's a monster, and a spider at that, so they're going to kill her. Or attempt to. But I don't know if that means there's potential for them to realize, oh yeah, you're a schoolmate. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Be kind of interesting to see anyway. But yeah, it's still a very, very fun show. And like I said in my last time that I watched this, the CG is really not that off-putting. Like, the thing with CG is that when you switch between CG and traditional, it's usually that the quick change where it's like very jarring and it's like very, very obvious, and it's not usually in the same style. Whereas the CG in this just fits naturally to the style of the show, at least so far from what I've seen. It's just a better looking CG overall, and the animation quality is just better overall than something like, say, Other Side Picnic, where the difference between the CG and the actual animation was very, very obvious. And thankfully they didn't use the CG for important moments, but even still, it was very weird to see. Like, all you need to do is just put a bit of a filter over the CG to make it just fit more seamlessly into the world, and I bet a lot of people won't even notice CG anymore. Like, the casual audience will probably not even notice that CG usage has been heavy in a show if you can just filter it properly and make it look like it naturally fits into the art that you've already designed. I'm convinced of that case, because there have been many scenes where I can't tell if it's CG or not, because it should be CG. It looks like it should be CG, but you don't even know, because it actually blends in so well. But that's just going to be as time goes on, as people learn CG properly, and we have more established CG-centered studios that specialize in it and can make it work for them, then can then outsource that to other anime productions as well. So, yeah, that's all I have to really say about it. Again, Tanya's voice actor being the spider, it's very noticeably Tanya. I still wait for Sonzai X every single time, but it just works, and I like her attitude a lot. I like her character so far that we've built up. So I'm curious to see what these other spiders we meet are. I'm going to guess they're other from the same egg batch, I'm going to assume. Whether they're also going to be isekai'd or not, I don't know. It would be kind of weird to have 4 total characters isekai to the same species. Just saying, but maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. It would make more sense for her to be the only one isekai'd as a spider monster, because then it remains like that uniqueness to it and typical isekai trope. But I guess we'll see as time goes on. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Sorry this ended up being a re-reaction, but hopefully I still made it entertaining in its own way and it was kind of enjoyable. I do not intend to ever do this again beyond today, because I never want to do this again, because it didn't feel right not giving a genuine first reaction. But technical issues, they're a bitch, basically, so that's why we had to do it the way we did. So leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, leave a comment as well. I know then there's going to be negative comments just because of the way this ended up being, but I can't do anything about it. This is the only way I could get a video out properly, and a reaction video out properly, and still be entertaining. So it's just the way it had to be, so sorry again. Don't forget to subscribe to see next week's episode, which will be a proper reaction, as will the rest of this series for the next 23 episodes of it, because we're continuing this one for sure. And don't forget to subscribe to Patreon to see picture-in-picture reactions of the shows that I watch as well. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.